again?
Yeah. Big week for us. We're in final exams right now through Thursday, and of course have a very good Missouri State team coming here on Saturday. Of course, looking to bounce back from our last game. Disappointed in the way that we played. Terrific event. It was put on in a first-class way. We were able to do some things in Oklahoma City at the Boys and Girls Club. Really cool environment for our guys. A number of guys hadn't played in an NBA arena before, but did not play certainly to our standards, and something again for us to continue to grow from. We talk often about being great as being consistently good, and we're searching for that consistency of assisted baskets, good play, sound play, and we got out of sorts, we got frazzled, and it really showed up in the game. So we had yesterday off from practice. We'll have a good film session with our team today, and just constantly trying to get better. That's the whole mission here, is just to get experienced, and unfortunately sometimes it's negative experiences that you've got to grow from the best, and that's our mission here today.
Questions? Bill?
Have you ever in your career, can you ever remember a stat sheet with that many extremes? The 28 turnovers, the 19 takeaways, the 3 of 20, you know what I mean? Just a crazy game.
I can't think of one. Especially, we forced 28 turnovers. We stole it 19 times, and to still lose a game. It was. I've seen some extreme box scores before. I remember one time in college where we shot 28% and still won the game. Had a very low turnover game. There's so many ways to win a game. There's so many ways to lose a game too, and that's really the message to our team is try to fight for the things and against the things that make you lose. And but that was a game full of extremes, no doubt.
Were you, like on the ride home, were you just, how in the world did we lose that game? Because you defended so great.
Well, I was very disappointed, and I knew why we lost. I thought that we played with an intensity. I thought we played hard, especially on the defensive end, but we played with an aggressiveness on offense that turned to recklessness, and instead of attacking the defense, we fought it. And anytime you fight anything in life, it comes with so much resistance that makes it more challenging, and that turned into difficult shots for us. It turned into turnovers. It turned into frustrating play that we really had a hard time getting out of.
You had a pretty spread out defense though too. You in the zone, you started out kind of really high. It seemed like. Do you feel like there was parts there where you're like, oh, probably should have went man to man? But also speaking of that, just the way that Archie played against Small and being able to force a lot of turnovers against him. Just how do you think the defense played ultimately on that half of the court?
Our defense. Yeah, we held them under 1 point per possession, and it's the first time we've lost all year holding a team under 1 point per possession. So to force those types of steals, and we will come out and trap a ball screen from time to time. We will pick up full court sometimes, but largely those turnovers were gap turnovers where guys were able to use their length and make up a stunt at the ball and get a piece of it. And so some of those plays were really nicely done. Of course, we made a number of errors on guarding the basketball and some of our positioning and pick and roll, but I thought our effort made up for some of those errors. We weren't able to capitalize. Again, we talk about points per possession a lot. We had 19 steals, so that's 19 live ball opportunities on a broken floor, and we scored at a .81. 5 times we turned it right back over to them. So it was just a game of so many missed opportunities. I told the team afterwards, there were so many gifts just presented to us, and we just slapped it out of their hands and said, I don't want that one. That would be too easy. And so these are things that we've got to learn from. I thought we took some routine plays and made them much more difficult than they needed to be.
Overall, just the way that Archie has played and played a pivotal role on defense and even on offense. Yes, on Sunday, he scored 13. He was tied with PJ for most points. Just how has he been, getting to come in as a freshman off the bench and really make some plays for you guys?
Well, it's a role that has become even more necessary. In fact, was just having a conversation with the opportunity that he's got. Of course, Keyston didn't play after playing 2 games and having a good role and helping us. Didn't play in the last game, and so therefore it requires other people to step up. And Ty has got that opportunity, and there's a big difference between playing a role where it's kind of coming in and being just a spark, to coming in and playing 27 minutes and having to run the team, orchestrate, score, distribute, defend, and do all those types of things. And so, but he did some really nice things, and he's going to continue to grow.
What did you say to him on that steal before halftime and pulling up in transition to 3? What was said to him at the break?
Well, I was like, hey, I think you had time to get to the rim. And he's like, I wasn't sure. So I just shot it. But, these are things to again, every experience we have is a new experience to these guys. And so we talk constantly about building their database of experiences, positive and sometimes not so positive, but they're all experiences to be able to learn from.
Last thing for me, just the dynamic duo of Kobe and PJ. You said so far this season that Kobe's really been the leader for you guys and really stepping up. PJ's came in and kind of done a few things and is the career leader in points. Just those 2 guys and the way that they can handle the offense.
Well, we ask a lot of them. The ball's in their hands a lot. We need them to score. We also need them to play make for others, and those are the things that we've got to get better at. We had such a positive in the Loyola game with 14 assists and our highest offensive rating of the year, and we weren't able to do that. I put that on those guys a lot, because they have the ball in their hands, and that those decisions of when to score, when to create, how to get to the paint, the decisions to make, but they really are a good complement of one another. Just in their size comparisons, the speed, the creativity, all those different things, we've seen it play out very well. We just got to become more consistent, and that's why we practice. It's why we play non-conference games as we lead into American play here in a few weeks.
You've brought up the word consistent a lot, and searching for consistency. Where do you think some of the is coming from? Is it just lack of leadership, lack of maybe chemistry with so many new faces? Where is it coming from, do you feel like?
Well, I think you get consistency, and you certainly build confidence from doing things that are difficult and doing them often, and you create those things in practice. But of course, every time you play a game, no matter how you simulate it in your scouting report and your scout team, it's different. Environments are different. I know our guys are really excited to play that game for a number of reasons. You got to give Oklahoma State some credit. We knew we were in a tough stretch. We played 3 out of the last 4 away from home, and that's different for a younger team. But each of these moments we're counting on for guys to come in with a mindset of how do we get better from this. We have a lot of teachable moments. We've got to build experience, and with that experience comes confidence. Of course, chemistry with so many new guys in different roles, even than what they've been used to. It's going to take a little bit of time, but we just got to keep chipping away at it, and that's absolutely what we're going to do.
2 for me, Coach. First, on the Oklahoma State game, they get off to that 11-3 start, extended 21-5. What was the difference at that point moving forward? Because then there was a stretch where you guys held them to basically no field goals, defensively looked a lot better. What were you telling those guys in those first 2 timeouts where you were trying to stop that momentum from them?
So early in the game, Michelle, we wanted to come out with an aggressive mindset, and we did. We weren't completely connected defensively in some of our midline coverages, and they were able to get a layup or 2. They got off to a good start. They built confidence quickly, and then we did not do a great job on the offensive end of countering. We just got better defensively. We started to get into the gaps better. We started to get steals. We got enough points, but we just weren't able to make enough of a dent because of our offensive play. We got it down to 9 a few times, had chances, had a 2-on-1 break where we had chances. We just weren't able to convert at a high enough clip to really put enough doubt in Oklahoma State's head that we were here. And those are things, very happy with some of the things that we did on the defensive end, but offensively, we've got a lot of work to do.
Was that because of their defense or because of your shot selection? What do you think you attribute that to?
again, I'm going to give some credit to Oklahoma State, and Coach Boynton's teams have historically been really good defensive teams. They've got some good versatile length. They can meet you at the rim. They apply pressure in a way that doesn't make every pass so easy, but we fed into it too. We've got to the paint in our paint decisions, and we chart these things of how we get to the paint and what happens, but our paint decisions were not strong. We shot contested shots. We shot very difficult shots. We got off one leg a lot and off balance and then turned it over. We didn't play with the type of rhythm that we've shown in this season so far. And so those are things that you got to look at. Of course, when you play against a team that's got length like we do and athleticism like we do, we've got to be better.
Last one. I lied. How would you describe Tyshawn Archie, like personality-wise?
So Ty is I met him as a rising sophomore. He came to our elite camp at Louisiana Tech and was very quiet. I mean, very, very quiet. And, he was a guy that we'd watched and kept in touch with. And, but he's certainly grown a whole lot. And he's grown some physically, but even just, he's got a personality, he's a really nice guy. And he's fun to be around. He loves basketball. You can talk basketball. But he loves to come to practice every day. He's what we'd call a hooper. He loves to play basketball. And so it's an exciting thing when you have that type of enthusiasm and that youth. He's 18 years old, but he's got a chance to be a really, really good one. And so he's got so much natural feel and tendencies that you love. And now it's just kind of trying to put him in situations as you play against higher and higher level competition of how to continue to thrive and make people around him better. But we love that he's here and love that he's getting better and better.
You mentioned the 3-4 stretch earlier. All three of those games outside of this building, obviously, and you're undefeated inside of the building. So have you noticed a difference whenever the team hits the road for these games?
No real difference. I mean, I think you look at college basketball, it's the toughest thing in all of sports to win a road college basketball game at the Division I level. And, we've been right down to the wire in two of them, and this third one we were not on a neutral site. And that's part of growth. It's easy when you've got most of the gym cheering for you. I shouldn't say easy. It's challenging too, but it's easier when you've got your friends and family and everybody on your side to go into another environment where they have more fans than you. You've got to be tough, and you've got to be tough offensively to take care of the basketball and just be able to work together and get a great shot. You got to be tough on the other end to defend and rebound. And we've been tough in moments, but it's the consistency that we're talking about. To be able to do that away from home, you've got to be able to you've got to be able to push through those barriers and those moments where the odds are against you a little bit, and we've got to get better at that.
And then Missouri State is a very experienced team. They got a lot of old guys on their rotation. How do you prepare for that, knowing how young your squad is versus that experience?
Really good team, and we're diving into that scouting report now, and they've got a lot of versatility. They've got guys that Clay at the 4 spot. I mean, he can dribble, he can pass, he can shoot it, he can post, does a lot of different things. They play a very open style. They've been able to score. They've beaten some really good teams, but this was really by design for us. We had those early 4 home games, and then our schedules continue to get stronger and stronger. And this is a really strong team. It's one of the favorites to compete in the Missouri Valley. So we're going to have to play much better basketball than we did the other night. But if we play like we did against Loyola Chicago, where we move the basketball, where we share it, where we keep fighting to create great shots for ourselves and then defend at a high level, we're going to have a shot. But it's going to be a really good game. Of course, to go along with that, we hope that our fans will come out here on Saturday afternoon and help create advantage for us, because they've been great. It's growing. We just keep asking them to continue to go on this maturation process with this team and help us get better and better.
You share a building and a hallway with a women's team that had a great win the other day, and I just wonder if the energy coming out of that side of the building or that into the hallway, whatever, can that be your motivations are obvious, right? your team's motivation, but can that even be their success if they are destined to have a special season? Could that somehow even benefit your side of that hallway?
Well, I think there's nothing but positive when your friends and family members are doing well. I love following all of the teams on our campus. Of course, we have a close relationship with Coach Nelp and her staff. We're their biggest cheerleaders and fans, as our players and their players know each other very, very well. So I see nothing but positive when they're doing well, as anybody else in our department. We're super happy for them. I text Coach Nelp immediately after that game, and yeah, I know they're cheering for us as well. So yeah, nothing but positive on that, Bill.
Anything else, Coach? All right, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate it.